What's up, you guys? It is Mike, the real United States champion here, and welcome to day number 5 of 24 days of reviews. And today we are going to be taking a look at, let's say, a rather infamous figure in WWE history, because today we are taking a look at Heidenreich. Now, for those of you who are not too familiar with this guy, I'll give you a brief history like I did Rene Dupree. So Heidenreich was initially signed to WWE sometime in 2002 or 2003, and he didn't really have a gimmick when he first started out. And then came 2004 when he was drafted to SmackDown and placed under supervision of Paul Heyman, in which he started the gimmick of a psychopath, and he was attacking people in the crowd, and it was really crazy. He's known for feuding with The Undertaker, and he was generally unsuccessful. And he's also very infamous for kidnapping Michael Cole and reciting poetry to him. And that segment in particular is still mocked by a lot of people in today's crowd, in today's fan base of WWE. And even WWE themselves have made fun of that segment. So Heidenreich is a rather unique character, maybe for the wrong reasons, but still. And this figure is supposed to represent his time as a member of the Legion of Doom. He teamed with Animal for a short period of time, and they actually managed to win the tag team titles. So that wasn't necessarily a popular angle that they did, just because Heidenreich never really matched the energy that Hawk had. I mean, nobody could ever match Hawk, but Heidenreich was still a member of LOD, and this was still a way to commemorate what Heidenreich has done as a member of LOD, whether you liked it or not. So with that being said, let's take a closer look at this guy, and as always, let's begin by going over the articulation. So we can move the head here side to side, and it can move up and down. Not a bad range of up and down motion in the head. Usually it's not too much. Then the arms outwards and upwards. Move at the bicep. You have the elbow, swivel the wrist, and hand movement. Move at the waist, and then the leg, knee, and the ankle joint. So nothing special here once again with these Jakks figures. Okay, now let's get a closer look at the face here of Heidenreich. Let me just focus. There we go. So one thing that I want to say right off the bat is the face paint of this guy is awesome. I actually really like the face paint on this guy. Actually looks much better than when he did face paint in actual life. I feel like when he did face paint, it didn't look this clean. It's like, I feel like it was much more sloppier than this, and it seems like they did a much better job putting the face paint on him here. So I'll give Jakks credit for that. Here's his mohawk. I feel like the shade of his hair this one is too dark, in my opinion. I feel like Heidenreich's hair didn't really look like this. Matter of fact, I have another Heidenreich figure for comparison. So this is, in my opinion, the correct shade. This is closer to what he had. So I feel like this was more correct than this one. But still, I feel like it works with this figure and what they're trying to accomplish. Like, you can obviously tell it's Heidenreich, so. His tattoos, I like this one in particular with the heart, the flaming heart. I think that's a nice crisp tattoo right there. Here's the closer look at the ones on his biceps. They definitely look accurate to what he had. And here's his belly button tattoo. And actually, when I went back to look at past Heidenreich figures, it seems like a lot of them actually missed this tattoo, which is kind of interesting. And luckily they included it here to make it seem more accurate, but that's something interesting that Jakks always did. Sometimes Jakks was like, it's fine, it looks like him, but sometimes they weren't always very accurate, but luckily they got it here, which I'm pleased with. And now looking at Heidenreich's gear, it's a nice bright red. Of course, it includes the iconic red gloves that he used to wear. These are basically Undertaker's gloves painted red, but they fit Heidenreich very well. And again, let me bring in the other Heidenreich figure that I had. Much better look here. These are just plain hands, just painted red. So, did a much better job here. And then you can see the detail in there as well. In the glove, had the outline there for the white. Just a much better job here. So, the gloves look good. And then the rest of his gear is pretty basic. Just red trunks, red knee pads, red short boots with black laces. So, basically a standard figure. Alright guys, that will just about wrap up this review. Thank you all for watching. Overall, this is perhaps one of my favorite Jakks figures, just because, one, he's wearing red, and red is my favorite color, and two, I think he just looks pretty sweet with the face paint. He looks much better than he did in real life. And even though it represents a time period in which it wasn't really all that great, because like when he teamed with Animal, it wasn't all that popular or anything like that, I still think the figure itself looks great. So that just about wraps this up. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you at day 6.